Welcome to the Tomosi Business Training Series. The basis of these sessions is to support the Tomosi Group staff and management to raise their capabilities and performance. The series is also a platform to share our experience with young entrepreneurs, making an effort to build their startups in Uganda and across Africa.
Secondly, this is number 2. I'm raising 3 things today. First was problem blindness. The second one is because you have been problem blind for so long on an issue, there is a way in which a decision maker even ceases to have a sense of ownership or taking responsibility of a situation. Often, when you are not the cause of a problem in an organization, in an institution, there is generally a feeling of, it isn't mine to fix. I have my own responsibility. Yet this very area which has a problem which you ignore largely undermines the total results of an institution. It brings down the areas of the organization that might be performing well, where you might be. It brings them down into very low averages because of lack of ownership of mistakes. Each member or department works in silos. Each one is in their own warehouse, hoping to succeed on their own, yet success is truly a group effort. No man is an island, as the traditional saying goes. Working in silos undermines a broader sense of learning and innovation. It stifles honest conversation about areas that are underperforming in an institution. As a result, people don't really grow professionally because they don't like to be exposed to what they perceive as ridicule by being told the truth. If you are in an organization and you feel a lack of legitimacy in tackling certain problems simply because you are not the cause of these problems, you are most likely not practicing upstream thinking. You are not going to the source to prevent problems. You are comfortable with the ad hoc style of work. You're comfortable with the reactive behavior type. You have no agency. You are not a reliable decision maker in the end. Now, I need to mention to you that problems will always happen, even when you are one of those good at planning to prevent them. And yes, to solve problems as they happen every day is the role of a decision maker, of a manager, of a leader. But we cannot be defined by handling emergencies, crises, and a firefighting attitude in an organization, and we believe we are making a difference in the long-term life of an institution. This is no matter how good we may be at rescuing effort, at those dramatic moments, the feeling of being helpful in the now. You may be good at that, but you're not going to the source. You are not helping long-term institutional growth. Dan Heath in this book gives an interesting example of 6 steps to prevent a burglary, a theft. I found this example very intuitive because it is a pointer on how to solve an organization and society's problems. Now, let's assume a burglary in your neighborhood. How would you prevent it? You would have 6 steps. First, seconds before the burglary or the theft happens, prevention can be a deafening alarm. A thief hears it and they run away in seconds. Minutes before it happens, minutes before the burglary, it could be the visible evidence of an alarm system. A thief can see an alarm system on a house, on a wall, an office, and that prevents a burglary. But hours, see, we started with seconds, minutes, hours before, perhaps a police patrol vehicle passing through an area can stop a burglar. Months before, a burglar can see the way a system has treated thieves who are arrested if they are charged and they are perhaps enrolled in a corrective program and they are brought back into society. A burglar can be prevented from attack months before by seeing live examples of how thieves are treated. Years before a burglar ever thinks of becoming one, good leadership in a community can create opportunities and access to work, making stealing pointless. Even more interesting, what I found interesting with this example is that a burglar can be stopped while they are still inside their mother's tummy by reducing the bad conditions for the mother. A majority of people who often turn to burglary, psychologists tell us, they come from negative conditions a mother might have experienced during their pregnancy. A mother might well have been on drugs or alcohol, or they had the baby while they were still teenagers and unable to look after the baby, or they may have suffered violence in a relationship, or perhaps a mother lacked education to raise a child, or they were single and unable to provide for the needs of the children. A whole host of reasons that could be prevented. Those are 6 steps that he shows us in that example. You can stop a theft in seconds, in minutes, in months, in years, and in decades from that example we saw. Which means there is always room for preventive thinking instead of the costs to society of such things as paying court systems, maintaining police, maintaining jails. These things are important in a society, but they all deal with the post-activity. A situation has happened and now we are reacting. What Heath is talking about here is that preventing crimes is much cheaper in the long run and healthier for a country or an institution than managing the consequences. In other words, it is easier to live upstream of solving problems than downstream where we are reacting to issues. That was my point number 2. My point number 3 is when one juggles problems on a long haul, they often give up on ever solving them. They begin to accept to live with them, and preventive efforts die out. This in psychology is called tunneling. You are too busy going through a tunnel to see other opportunities. You put off what is important for what is urgent and what is in the now. You endanger all forms of planning for the organization, for the individual, and you now live only for the day. Tunneling is a function of lack of time, lack of money or resources, and often it is a result of people building silos around their work. Your bandwidth for handling problems progressively gets eroded and you have no system thinking. You are living downstream in the now. The vision of the future and its direction gets blurred. What example can I give you? Perhaps the example I can give you is that is common to all of us, many of us, is living out of pocket, having no savings, having no health insurance for many of us, which is reflected more glaringly in the low level of capital formation for our societies. This is partly the cause of high interest rates, which we endure as businesses when we borrow, because few of us are saving, banks have limited resources to give. Psychologists have shown that making decisions while in a tunnel of life or business, when you have no peripheral vision, meaning peripheral vision means the ability to see and think all around you and envision a future with confidence. Making decisions in the tunnel can be likened to making decisions when you have not slept for more than 48 hours. You have itchy eyes, your mind is going off, you are highly irritable. You don't make much good decisions in that state. And what more, they say the experience of poverty, given its nature to force the mind into scarcity, lends the same mental, physical, and emotional low bandwidth in decision making. Next week, we will look at preventive measures to keep our upstream thinking attitude on. I thank you, God bless you, and have a great weekend.
We would like to hear from you. Please email us at info@tapmedia.com and visit our website at www.tapmedia.com. You can also visit our offices located at Tomosi Business Park, Luzira, Port Bell Road, or call 0414-220-702. Thank you.